Hi guys, when the Tories were in power, they used the idea that some people on benefits were gaming the system, were abusing the support that they were receiving, and wouldn't be willing to work a day in their lives. The narrative was, yes, there are a lot of people who can't work for a number of reasons, and they need to be supported into work, but a stick approach is necessary to force feckless work-shy layabouts off benefits and into jobs. The approach of the new government seems to be somewhat different, but such a carrot and stick approach to benefits is really designed to convince people who aren't on them that it's okay to punish the majority because a small minority don't want to work. Here political commentator Marina Purkiss explains the problem with this.
Look, we've had this with the Conservative government. We've had this approach where it's all punitive and they're vilified. And what have we had? What is the result of it? The biggest number, the last Parliament saw the biggest number of economically inactive people. So all of that vilifying and using it as a device to try and divide us doesn't work. And also, if you've ever been on the receiving end, personally, like if someone's telling me I'm useless, if you're a failure, you're this, you're that, you're a scrounger, like it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think this approach, yeah, it's a bit softy, wishy, soft and touchy, whatever. But actually, sometimes I think it's a better approach because also, you've got to bear in mind the social contract is broken. We've got stagnant wages since 2006. Work doesn't pay. The system we've got at the moment is punitive, so that if you work above a certain amount of hours, you get benefits taken away from you. That all just needs to be reformed. And so I think this is a really good start point because they're actually looking, what Liz Kendall's looking to do here is job centres at the moment spend so much of their time monitoring, like should you be getting your payments, and actually withdrawing or holding or whatever. Job centres, and they're linking it up with the Careers Advice Service, which I think is a great move, and also with the NHS. It's about supporting you into roles. What skills do you need? What training do you need? What apprenticeships do you need? What is it in health-wise that's stopping you from getting that job? Linking you up with that. Because so many people, again, that 9.4 million that's quoted as being economically inactive, you can already just get rid of 5 million of those because they're students, they're carers, they're people who are sick, disabled. I think it's the rest. I think it's about the 4 million, and we need to figure out what is it? Is it this spiral that Peter was talking about, that it's like become a lifestyle choice, which is really sad. And for those people, we need to motivate them, going, hey, we're going to help you. This is what you're going to do. We're going to motivate you, and we're going to make sure there are jobs for you that can give you progression.
Do you believe what Peter's saying, that there is a generational, there are people who generationally have said, no, this is our lifestyle. We will stay on benefits.
100%, and it's really sad, but of course, I believe they're in the minority, but there are always going to be people who are feckless, and they don't want to work, and again, but what is the point? If you're going to work, you're eking out a living doing a job that you hate, that's got no career prospects, to only just about exist, then I understand why they might feel like that, and so that we need to address as well.
Well said, well said. So look, there are a number of things to mention here. There are so many people who want to work, but they can't get the support they need. They need training, they need support from the DWP. And over the last number of years, the Conservatives, instead of actually providing support to people, helping them get into jobs, they've been instead forcing them to write CVs constantly, be on a website, making sure that they're constantly being monitored, whether they're looking for jobs. Have you looked for a certain number of jobs this week? Instead of actually supporting people, people are wasting their time filling out CVs or applying for jobs that probably they know that they can't do, but they have to reach a certain quota every week or every month. So that's a waste of time. That needs to be reformed. There's so many people who can't work. They need support as well. And finally, we keep coming back to this point as well. There are so many people who don't want to work. But what's the alternative? Is it to force them into jobs that they don't want to do? I keep saying this. Who wants somebody who doesn't want to be a carer doing caring work? Working in a nursing home, working in a care centre. Do you want people doing those jobs who don't want to be there, who are there because they've been forced to do it, because the DWP said, if you don't do it, we're going to take away your benefits? So it makes sense to put aside a small group of people, ignore them in a sense, who don't want to work, and instead focus your attention on people who do want to, provide them with the support they need, the training they want, in order to do jobs. People, and since the pandemic as well, so many people have dropped out of the workforce because they see, look, it's no longer feasible for me to do these jobs wages have stagnated. People are doing jobs that are not paying enough to pay the bills, to pay the rent, and they have to rely on support from the state. That needs to be reformed. Why is it a situation, especially since the Tories, that there's been an explosion in work benefits? You should be either working or on benefits, but because the cost of living crisis has increased so dramatically and wages have not kept up with that, not kept up with inflation, it meant so many people are working but also having to rely on benefits. The state, in a sense, is compensating for poor wages. That needs to change. So there needs to be massive reform. The Tories, over the last 14 years, have decimated society, and I don't see it being fixed in one parliament or even two. Massive reform needs to take place. People need to be lifted out of poverty, and people need to be given opportunities for jobs, but also the training to achieve that. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.